Buying used is the most sustainable and affordable option. Why should you even care? Water pollution, soil degradation. Please ignore my loud computer. Hello beautiful people, welcome back to Adventures of Keek. I have a question for you all. Do you buy clothes? This is a serious question because reflecting back on the majority of my adult years, I'm not sure if I would consider myself a regular clothes buyer. Shout out to all of the hand-me-downs from my past roommates that make up most of my closet. And I'll never forget when I first learned about secondhand shopping when my cousins took me to their local Plato's Closet in Hawaii, and after that discovery, I was a changed woman. But really, this dress is from Plato's Closet. It's a secondhand consignment store. I can spend hours there, literally hours and hours by myself. It's normal. And today I hope to spread some of the joy that comes from secondhand shopping, aka thrifting, as well as how to buy sustainably and why that's important. Also, I filmed this a lifetime ago before my PhD depleted my energy and motivation to be creative and work on any of my hobbies, but we're just going for it. Jumping back in, let's go. During the pandemic, comfort started to take a higher priority for me when it came to clothes, as I'm sure it did for many people. But I was the type who needed to change out of pajamas every day to feel like I could get anything done. But to also maintain some comfort, I pretty much just wanted to wear t-shirts every day. And when I filmed this in the summer or fall of 2020, all I had really were tank tops that weren't really comfortable for me at work. So I decided, why not buy some new clothes for the first time all year. Plus, I fell into the Chloe teen craze towards the beginning of the pandemic and I needed more activewear. So for this video, we'll get into online consignment and eco-friendly activewear because, spoiler alert, it's usually not. And we'll talk about some great brands and websites to get you started. So I promise you're going to feel really good about yourself for being a conscious consumer after trying out some of these tips and brands. Here's my quick pitch. Buying used is the most sustainable and affordable option to update your wardrobe. But real talk, why should you even care about shopping secondhand or with sustainability in mind? You've probably heard of fast fashion before. Clothes that are trendy, inexpensive, and cheaply made, and will likely be thrown out when the next season, year, or trend comes along. There are two main reasons why you want to avoid this, and these are simplified explanations, so definitely Google for more info. Number one, quickly and mass-producing clothes. Think Shein, Zara, Fashion Nova, has huge negative impact, including greenhouse gas emissions, water pollution, soil degradation. Number two, the short lifespan of clothes in fast fashion and today's current culture means way too much of it goes to landfills. The average person in the US throws away 70 pounds of clothing and textiles each year, and 95% of those could be recycled, but only 15% usually are. So I usually love shopping at consignment stores in person. Some of my favorites, like I said, include Plato's Closet, Buffalo Exchange, Crossroads. Hopefully there's something nearby, although I know it's not accessible everywhere. Goodwill can also have options if you search hard enough, but for COVID safety reasons towards the middle of the pandemic, I wanted to try some online options that are still sustainable and low waste. So when I looked online, some of these websites include thredUP, Poshmark, eBay, The RealReal, Depop. I'm sure you could find stuff on Etsy if you looked. So I decided to try thredUP, and I'll talk about how that process went. You might have heard of it or used it before, but you may not know all of the behind-the-scenes work that they do. thredUP is the largest secondhand online thrift store, and they have a mission of creating less waste and promoting increased environmental awareness. They even included a mission statement letter in my first order, which talks about things like, if everyone in the US bought just one item used instead of new this year, it would save nearly 6 billion pounds of carbon emissions. So it's pretty easy to use, basically like any other online shopping, but with a super customizable search tool, and you can find exactly what you're looking for. And my favorite feature is that you can search by brand, and they have tons of brands. Basically any favorite one that you have will be on there. And so for example, I like to look at Target or maybe Free People, and you can just within that pick the type of clothing you want and filter for color, price, size, type of material, And when you go in and look at an item that you might like, you can even see what kind of quality you can expect since it's going to be a used item. Plus, they make returns super easy and send everything with sustainable packaging, which is awesome. I also just really love their branding and just the positive vibes I feel like they give off. So while I pretend to be an amateur fashion model to show you what I bought, I'll tell you some more awesome things about thredUP's sustainability efforts, but mainly to distract you as much as I can from my cringy COVID hair-ridden modeling attempt. Oh, I don't even like saying it. thredUP does tons to move towards a circular fashion future instead of producing more and wasting over and over. Their efforts have led to 1 billion pounds of CO2 emissions displaced, as well as $3.3 billion off of estimated retail value. So it's cheaper and they provide tons of items. They also educate consumers on the global fashion waste crisis. I took this quiz on their website, definitely check it out, and was very happy to see that I'm actually doing a good job in terms of my clothing carbon footprint. And they provide great tips on things you can do to lower your fashion footprint. So definitely look more at their website for more information and tips. Overall, I'm down with what they do on multiple levels. Also, at the start of the pandemic, I started working out more. Shout out to Chloe Ting for being the gateway to this. And so I needed more sports bras. 1, for the purposes of not having to do laundry every week. And 2, because cute sports bras would give me more motivation to keep working out regularly. Or that was the hope. No, but it actually did help. Activewear is usually made of synthetic materials and are made using fossil fuels, which is not good for Mother Earth. Okay, also they shed microplastics with every wash, which ends up in our water and eventually food. So how can we find sustainable activewear? Sustainable clothing brands can mean a number of things. Organically sourced materials that use environmentally conscious practices either at the material stage and or manufacturing stage. It can also mean using recycled and or natural materials versus the synthetic fabrics that shed these tiny plastics when washed. It can also partly mean giving back to other organizations that are doing sustainable work. Another thing to consider in the brands you support is ethical work environment, transparency in their process, representation, and inclusivity, because sustainability work really has to be intersectional in order for there to be actual progress for all those who are affected. So after doing some research in different activewear brands, I came up with a list of some of the top brands that I liked by price mainly and the different styles. Here are some of the more affordable brands, including Manduka, Threads for Thought, which is also at REI and is cheaper in their used section. And I actually got a set, a sports bra, and leggings from the sales section of Threads for Thought, and I actually really like both of them. The sports bra material isn't like the normal synthetic feel you have, but it's still nice. At REI, all of their brands have a minimum standard of ethical and sustainable operations. Some of the brands that are on the pricier side, but usually have sales you can look out for, include Azura Bay, which is woman-owned, Task Performance, Prana, Athleta, both of which are pretty popular, and Athleta is working on being more sustainable. One recent win I had in terms of sustainable clothing, I found a brand new pair of beautiful Athleta leggings at Goodwill and for like $8, and so decent brand and buying used. It was a double sustainability win, so I was really excited about that one. Another brand is Satva, which is woman and POC owned, and then Girlfriend Collective, which is POC owned. Girlfriend also does work to be ethical and eco-friendly. Some things include using 100% recycled and recyclable packaging and clothes made of recycled water bottles, as well as using eco-friendly dyes. So remember, if you want something new to your wardrobe, first think secondhand. If you want something actually new, check out sustainable brands and women and BIPOC owned, because we gotta remember to keep our sustainability intersectional. I will say it over and over again until we get it in our heads. Also, to keep in mind, taking good care of the clothes that you already do have. For example, learning how to wash and dry them properly so they last longer, and finding ways to repurpose them is a free option. Also, buying good quality, slow fashion items that will outlast trends is good for your wallet and the planet. If you want me to dive deeper into any of the topics I mentioned, leave a comment below. Please show your support by liking, subscribing, and sharing. Thanks for watching. Check out this beautiful shooting view I have tonight. And time to go out there. Okay, bye.